Welcome to Asian IDA single opening ceremony. A few leaked behind-the-scenes photos, and suddenly the entire short drama market seemed to tremble beneath the explosive arrival of a nuking-level pairing, because how else could anyone explain the terrifying speed at which Zhai Yiying and Charon pushed their upcoming drama Wild Lotus grows in desolation into the center of online discussion before filming had even properly begun. When a short drama surpasses 500,000 reservations almost instantly on the highly competitive Hwangaro platform, isn't that no longer just popularity, but evidence of an emotional storm already brewing inside the hearts of viewers waiting desperately to feel something unforgettable again? He title Wild Lotus grows in isolation alone already sounds like poetry blooming from cracked concrete, doesn't it? Adapted from the novel Wild Grass is Not the White Moonlight, the story unfolds like a scar slowly reopening after years of silence, following Yi, a poor yet fiercely determined student, and Shenk, the privileged academic genius who once stood so high above her that love between them seemed almost impossible from the very beginning, wasn't it? At first, they collided like thunder against glass, sharp words hiding fragile curiosity beneath pride and misunderstanding. Yet isn't hatred often merely attraction wearing armor before surrender finally begins? Their relationship grew quietly inside classrooms, libraries, rainy streets, and sleepless nights filled with ambition, until love became unavoidable despite the brutal reality separating their worlds. Because how come two hearts remain untouched once they have already learned each other's? Yet fate rarely allows love to survive untouched by cruelty, and when family pressure, class inequality, and an unexpected tragedy shattered their relationship 7 years earlier, didn't their separation feel less like a breakup and more like two souls being violently torn apart by a world refusing to let them belong together? 7 years later, Yi has transformed from a struggling wild weed fighting for survival into a calm and resilient teacher standing proudly before her students. But doesn't true pain always leave invisible roots buried deep beneath even the strongest smiles? Meanwhile, Shenk returns from overseas carrying success, maturity, and regret heavy enough to follow him like a shadow through every crowded street and sleepless night. Because what is success worth when the person you wanted beside you is no longer here to witness it? This reunion is not painted as a fairy tale overflowing with weakness, but rather as a battlefield where memory, guilt, pride, and longing collide with terrifying intensity, and perhaps that is precisely why audiences cannot stop obsessing over it. Isn't it? Modern viewers have already consumed countless romances built on tea fantasies and recycled cliches, so when a story dares to explore emotional wounds that feel painfully human, doesn't it immediately strike deeper than ordinary entertainment ever could? Zhai Yiying's portrayal of Yi appears destined to become one of the defining performances of her growing career, because few actresses possess a rare ability to combine fragility and stubborn strength within the same trembling glance, do they? In the early stages of the story, she embodies the desperate sensitivity of a girl constantly aware of her poverty, carrying herself like someone expecting humiliation at every turn. And doesn't that quiet defensiveness reflect the hidden fear shared by countless people born without privilege? Later, as Yi matures into a teacher who finally discovers dignity through independence and her pose, Zhai Yiying reportedly reshapes her posture, gaze, and emotional rhythm entirely, proving once again that real growth on screen is not declared through dialogue, but revealed through the smallest human details. Isn't it? Her crying scenes, already praised by viewers as possessing a haunting broken beauty, seem capable of dissolving the distance between audience and character within seconds, because when emotions feel truly sincere, who can remain merely a passive server? Charon's interpretation of Shenk is an equally fascinating emotional evolution, transforming him from an arrogant top student who once looked down at others into a man softened painfully by loss and regret. And isn't redemption always more compelling when earned through suffering rather than gifted easily? What makes his character especially captivating is the tension between coldness and tenderness hidden beneath every restrained expression, because Shenk does not love loudly, but instead loves like someone terrified of losing everything once or doesn't he? Charon's subtle acting style relies heavily on micro-expressions and lingering eye contact, allowing even silence itself to feel emotionally charged. And perhaps that explains why audiences already describe his chemistry with Zhai Yiying as dangerously addictive before the drama has even aired. Isn't that remarkable? Their partnership has now reached its third collaboration, and with every project, their chemistry seems less like performance and more like two artists gradually learning each other's emotional language through repeated storytelling. Doesn't it? Their first collaboration in Day and Night Without End exploded during the Spring Festival season despite them not even being the official couple, which only made audiences crave seeing them together even more intensely afterward. Didn't it? Then came Heartbeat, message read but unreplayed, where their natural interactions during leaked filming clips spread rapidly across social media platforms like sparks carried by strong wind. Echo's viewers instantly recognized something possible to manufacture artificially, didn't they now? With Wild Lotus grows in desolation, audiences are no longer merely hoping for romance, but anticipating emotional devastation powerful enough to leave lingering hoes long after the final episode fades to black, aren't they? The drama's dual timeline structure further deepens this anticipation, weaving together youthful campus memories with adult workplace reunions. And doesn't this narrative style mirror the way real people experience love itself through fragmented memories and unfinished emotions? The production teams focus on natural cinematography, realistic color grading, and emotionally immersive atmosphere also suggests a desire to elevate short dramas beyond posable entertainment into something visually and emotionally lasting, doesn't it? Yet beneath the romance, heartbreak, and reunion storyline lies an even more meaningful core that may resonate strongest with viewers. Because Yi's journey is ultimately not just about being loved by a man, but about learning to value herself despite a world that once made her feel insignificant, isn't she? Fights her way upward through education, persistence, humiliation, and resilience until she finally becomes someone capable of standing confidently within her own life, and perhaps that is why her story feels so powerful, because it reminds audiences that survival itself can become a form of quiet rebellion. Doesn't it? Maybe that is the true reason 500,000 people rush to reserve this drama before its release, because hidden beneath the excitement surrounding chemistry and romance lies something much deeper and more universal. Isn't there a desperate hope that love might still survive time, distance, regret, and class barriers in a world increasingly divided by reality? A longing to believe that broken people can still find their way back to each other after years of silence and pain. Or perhaps audiences are not only waiting to watch Yi and Shank reunite on screen, but secretly wondering whether the versions of themselves they lost years ago might also still be waiting somewhere in the ruins of memory, hoping to be found again one day. Thank you for watching the video. See you again.